Hey everybody, welcome to episode 130 of the AskDap show, where I answer your Volkswagen and Audi questions. On this episode, we talk about fuel mileage on a tuned S4, 3.0T Audi oil burning, serpentine belt issues on a Alltrack with 60,000 kilometers on it, and preventing your heater core from going bad.
The Cisco Kid via YouTube asked, I'm looking to tune my 2012 Audi S4. I just got the car and I really like it, but a bit more power would be awesome. I'm looking at your stage 1 for 91 octane. Does the tune actually improve mileage at all? As I know stage 2 plus in my 15 WRX improve mileage over the stock tune.
Okay, so you have a WRX and you want to know, you're obviously transitioning into an S4. We're seeing a lot more people nowadays coming from the WRX world and just a bunch of different automotive enthusiasts coming to VW and Audi, mostly because the Mark 7, obviously the S4 is also a good platform. Yes, I would expect to see increased mileage. I actually reached out to Unitronic to verify this. I actually, my gut told me that probably wasn't going to be the case, mostly just because I think that I was under the impression the supercharger probably would have a little more drag. Even though it was a bypass valve, it would still create a little bit more drag in that circumstance. But similar to the turbocharged cars, you will expect to see better fuel mileage. I can tell you from my personal experience, my fuel mileage isn't awesome on the car because it's a heavy car. It's a bigger engine with a supercharger in it, and it's a tiny little gas tank. I was actually surprised when I got the S4. I didn't realize it only has a 12-gallon tank. So my Mark 7 had the same, obviously, tank, but I got a lot more miles out of a tank on the Mark 7 than I do from the S4. So not to mention, usually when you drive a tuned car, to me, the S4, if you're not driving in sport mode, it's kind of snoozy to drive. So you tend to, if you drive in sport mode, you're going to be using more fuel and you're going to be into the pedal more. So it's just, I guess, the sacrifice of enjoying your driving experience.
Geoffrey Warren via YouTube asked, I've got a 2011 A6 3.0 turbo I'm having the same issue with, in my opinion, excessive oil consumption. Was using Pensotin, but I grabbed some Castrol Edge 5W40 to try it out. I know some guys having good luck with Motul brand oil, but I couldn't wait for a shipment. I'm around a quart every 500 miles. My tips are black, so I know I've got an issue. Hoping rings aren't the culprit.
Okay, Jeffrey, so you have an oil burning issue. Obviously, this car behind us, we just shot in the shop about this car has an oil burning issue, but this is a 2-liter engine. The 3.0T is a different situation. So a lot of people are going to be concerned because they've heard a lot about these engines, that the 3.0T has the same thing. We have a common problems article for the 3.0T that was written up by an Audi tech friend of ours, and I'll link to that in the description where you can check that out. But essentially, the very likely cause, which is, I guess, good and bad, not great that you have a problem, but better if you do have an oil burning issue for it to be this, is that PCV valve is the most likely cause of your issue. So I'll link to the PCV valves as well in the description where you can check that out. Also, one note I wanted to say is I'm not sure that black tips are necessarily an indicator of an oil burning issue. If you're losing oil, obviously, yes, that you know you're burning oil. Black tips usually are more likely to be a rich condition, just because black soot or smoke coming out of a gas engine is more likely the engine is running rich. If you have an oil burning issue, your smoke coming out of your engine is going to be kind of a bluish, grayish color, as opposed to black. Black smoke is usually a rich condition. So hopefully that gets you on the way of fixing your Audi.
Wang via YouTube asked, maybe flushing the coolant earlier is a better idea to prevent the heater core from going bad?
So yes, this was asked on, or more of a comment / question left on our In the Shop talking about S4, B5 S4 heater core that we were doing. Flushing your coolant definitely can help prevent heater cores from going bad. Those B5, not just B5 S4s, but B5 A4s and Passat B5 models all had issues around heater cores. And while I think flushing it certainly is going to help prevent it, just because heater cores often will get sediment and that type of stuff in them, which will prevent flow from going properly, and that's what usually ends up meaning you need to replace the heater core. but it's not going to guarantee it. Heater cores fail in a variety of ways. Clogging is just one of them. So if clogging is the most common problem, it certainly will help to flush it. Back flushing them usually helps too. If you're going to flush, if you're really worried about it, you can drain everything out, back flush it, and then flush the system. That's really, if you want to be crazy about it, that would be the right way to do it, to ensure you don't ever have to deal with that. But like anything, there's no guarantees, and kind of becomes a cost benefit kind of analysis when you're talking about spending a certain amount of time, energy, and money to address something with the inability to guarantee it's ever going to go bad.
Prdea via Facebook asked, should my serpentine belt be looking like this? 2017 Alltrack 1.8 turbo, DSG JB1, 60,000 kilometers.
All right, so this vehicle, 60,000 kilometers in miles, I don't know, somewhere around 40,000 miles. That is way destroyed for that amount of mileage. So what it looks like to me is that serpentine belt has been rubbing on something. I've heard of anything from intercooler clips breaking, allowing the radiator assembly to slide back. That will actually cause, there's a coupler that's low down where it has a coolant temp sensor in it on the lower radiator, and that will rub against the serpentine belt. My guess is that that's actually what's destroyed that belt. I have no idea if that's the case or not. But if that is the case, you will want to make sure you're figuring out whatever is causing that, because that is certainly not a issue of normal wear. Thanks so much for watching episode 130 of the AskDap show, where I answer your Volkswagen and Audi questions. If you have any questions or comments about the questions answered in this show, be sure to leave in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more like it.